like you can the distal end of your lower extremity, right? So we talked about this morning, sit to stand being a closed chain activity because your foot is fixed, right? So if you're going from sit to stand, your distal end is fixed, right? You're going to use your quads concentrically on the way up, eccentrically on the way down, right? And really on the way up, you're using the muscle the way it kind of, well, in the closed chain, you're actually going to, as you go down, you're going to be using that muscle in a reversal of muscle action, right? But you're going to move your origin, instead of moving your insertion towards the origin, you're moving it the other direction. You can do a closed chain activity with your distal end of your hands fixed if you do a push-up, right? So you can do a push-up, okay? Even if I do it in this position. As I do a push-up, okay? As I go down, okay? My distal end's fixed. As I come up, my distal end's fixed. Okay, so when I do a push-up, what muscle am I using?
On the way down, you will.
Okay, so I'm actually using a lot of shoulders too, and core as well, and chest, but we're not going to talk about the triceps, right? So as I go down, I'm doing what type of contraction of the triceps?
Eccentric.
Eccentric, right? And as I go up, concentric, right? But again, I'm doing it in a closed chain because the distal end is fixed. Okay? Depends on, if you're talking about a push-up, you're looking at an upper extremity activity. Okay? Right. So in that case, yeah, you need to know what they're talking about. Yeah, here's another case of where you need to know what you're talking about. Okay, say if I said to you, okay, here's the position. You're going to have your patient abduct their right leg like that. Okay. Now, is that open chain or closed chain?
It's open.
Closed.
Isn't it open?
Okay, so on the right side, it's open.
It's open. Yeah.
Right? On the left side,
It's closed.
it's closed. Okay? Because I'm moving this in an open chain, right? I'm moving my distal end. Here my distal end's fixed, but I still have to use this leg or else my pelvis is going to dip, right?
Yeah.
So again, kind of clarification, open chain on the right, closed chain on the left.
So you can have two at once.
You can have two at once.
Ah.
Walking is technically two, right? Because if my stance leg is closed, my swing leg is open. Okay? My stance leg, and then it switches. My stance leg closed, open, closed, open. Closed,
So
open.
on a quiz, you'll specify which.
Yeah, it should be pretty easily.
Okay.
Okay, what if you probably have seen patients at the clinic where they sit and they're using overhead pulleys like
Yes.
this. Is that open or closed?
Isn't it closed?
Open. Because the distal end is free to move, right? I'm holding on to something, but it's not fixed.
That's right.
Okay, that's open. If I pull that bar down,
That's
that's
closed.
open. Okay?
Also,
But if I do
pull
a
it
chin up,
down. Oh, that's
that's
Yeah,
closed.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, wait, no.
If I do a chin up, my bar is fixed.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm using my biceps in a reversal of muscle action.
So that's
Okay.
fixed.
Because the bar is fixed. Okay, if the bar is fixed, the bar doesn't move.
Approximately.
Instead of bringing this to this, I have to bring that to that. Okay, so that's closed.
insertion
Okay.
to origin is open.
Open would be, well, if I use a flat pull down bar, where the bar moves, that's open. Okay?
Do you agree?
Yeah, because the bar moves. Right, you're going to the bar. Correct. The other thing we talk about a lot in, what about crutch walking? Today I'm talking about crutch walking. Open or closed?
Closed.
Okay, so technically when I'm walking, I'm using these upper extremities, that's closed, okay? When I push down, okay, because now my distal end is fixed, okay? And I'm moving my proximus. Okay, so as I put weight on there, the crutch tips or the distal end fixed, so I advance this and then I have to do an open chain with my foot. But technically we usually think of crutch walking as being a closed chain, okay? Because what I have to do is I have to plant this to use my lats and my traps in order to swing my body weight through. Okay. Yeah, I eventually have to go to an open chain to swing it
Okay.
through. But again, what's doing most of the work, yeah, is my upper body, and then I bring my leg forward, and that's a
So
closed
a
chain.
crutch is just a sort of.
Yeah, usually crutch chain we're talking about. Closed chain. Wheelchair push-up. Okay, so we don't have any arm rests in here. So basically what you do is you have your patient use their arms. Okay, so pretend I had arm rests on here. So basically what I'm gonna do is a push-up, but in sitting. Okay? So I'm gonna lift my bottom. That's gonna be closed chain, right? Because my hands are fixed. So instead of doing this with the triceps, where I'm moving my origin toward my insertion, or my origin away from my insertion here at this point, now I'm doing the opposite. Okay? I'm moving the proximal end and the distal end distinct. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so a push-up, whether it's a full-fledged push-up laying down and prone, whether it's a table push-up, okay, whether it's a sitting push-up, a wheelchair push-up, or whether it's even a wall push-up.
All closed.
It's all closed.
Pretty much anytime you're using your body.
If your distal end is fixed. Okay, just,
So did you
Just
decide
the
about
distal-
leg press?
what's that?
So a hack squat would be closed chain, but a leg press would be.
Well, again, there's always controversy between the two. Technically, if you're doing a leg press and the surface moves, I see that as open. Yeah, but if your chair moves, then I see that as closed. So leg press is always a little sketchy, but you know, everybody might
So
not see
this-
it that way.
So this is.
This is closed.
So, and then same thing, if you're looking at a regular squat, or a sit to stand, or a wall slide, okay? We talked about the
Can you
wall
use the
slide.
same exact muscles?
You're doing a wall slide, again, it's still closed, because now the distal end is fixed. Okay, so you're doing,
Your chair. This is.
okay? Those are some of those things. Okay, so if you don't understand, it's being asked, but I want to go over close and open chain.
What's this exercise with weight cuts?
What's that?
Exercise with weight cuts?
Oh, you know what cuff weights are? Instead of using a dumbbell, it's the weights that has Velcro on it. Yeah, a lot of times we use it more for lower extremities than upper extremities. So yeah, so if you're working with cuff weights or dumbbells, it's gonna be open.
Yeah.
This would be.
Yeah.
This is.
Sometimes you got cuff weights, open chain. All right, so let's see. We got it on.